God dang, son. This first dose of vaccine really got to me. What is up, SmackNPie here, and welcome back to another video. Finally on the channel. I know it's been 3 days, but 3 days feel like 3 years. You know, there was only one news that could have brought me back, and that was The Last of Us. So this happened out of nowhere. I came back on Twitter, and bam, it was all over the place. The Last of Us has been trending the whole day ever since the news broke out from that article from Bloomberg, and even at the time of this recording, it is still trending. So what happened? Let's talk about it. So we got two sides here, and we will discuss both of them at the end of this video, and do let me know where do you stand in all of this. So to make it short, The Last of Us remake is reportedly in development, and Days Gone 2 on the other hand has been rejected. So the developers of Days Gone Studio Bend are now working on a new game. That is basically the TLDR of the situation, but let's quote IGN here and let's see what's going on. In a new Bloomberg reporting to dissatisfaction among Sony's lesser-known studios, sources say that a Last of Us remake, codenamed T1X, was started by Michael Mambor, the founder of Visual Arts Service Group, a Sony developer that traditionally assists development on PlayStation Studios games. He apparently assembled a new 30-strong development group, and after passing on the idea of a remake of the first Uncharted game, which would have been a lot more sense compared to The Last of Us, settled on a remake of 2013's The Last of Us. However, the team reportedly ran into trouble after Sony kept their existence a secret and refused to offer extra budget. Head of PlayStation Studios Herman Hulst apparently deemed the project too expensive, and Momber's team was moved to support development of The Last of Us 2. That is very interesting. Bloomberg sources say that after The Last of Us 2 was completed, Sony then moved multiple Naughty Dog developers onto the T1X project, which was of course The Last of Us 1 remake, and the remake effectively became a Naughty Dog project as a whole. So Mambor and the other original developers have now left the company, but the development of the remake is still continuing. As part of the same report, Bloomberg also says that Sony Bend pitched a sequel to Days Gone after the game's release in 2019, but that was rejected. Sony then apparently moved Bend developers onto two Naughty Dog projects, a multiplayer game, The Last of Us multiplayer game of course, and a new Uncharted project, which has been rumored, and I covered that Uncharted rumor a while back on the channel here. Some Bend staff reportedly left as a result of having their autonomy taken away, and leadership allegedly complained to Sony and asked to be moved off of Uncharted development. Sony Bend is now apparently working on a new original game, but it is not clear if this is a Days Gone 2, highly unlikely, a brand new game, or a return to another back catalog game, probably Uncharted. Now they even have an update saying that Eurogamer reports that its sources claims a Sony Bend developed Uncharted game was planned to be a new chapter for the series, possibly a prequel, and was intended as something of a reboot for the series that it was I was talking about earlier. It is unclear if those plans have persisted with Bend off of the project. But the last line really resonated with me, that says, "The timing for a remake of The Last of Us feels appropriate given the upcoming HBO series, which will reimagine the story of the first game with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey in lead roles." Extremely excited for that. Now here we are with this whole story. Of course, you can read the entire article by the Bloomberg. One thing that everyone has been saying is that, okay, Last of Us remake doesn't sound that necessary, and I'll be the first one to admit, yes, it doesn't. But I feel like I'm in one of those groups that would be like, okay, I don't know why it is necessary to make it this early instead of focusing and using assets and resources and energy for new IPs, creating pathways for more great franchises, for creative innovations and stuff like that. But at the same time, day one pre-order, because you know, it's The Last of Us. What else do you want me to say on that matter? I am disappointed about Days Gone pitch being rejected. Of course, that it was something at the same time I will say expected, considering the reviews of the game. That game actually grew with people over time, so that is something I don't know how PlayStation and Sony sees that, but they're getting a lot of... Sony has been underwater for the past couple of weeks now, with first MLB on Xbox, then this. Okay, it's interesting, that's all I'm gonna say. Personally, as a Last of Us fan, I couldn't be more happy to hear this news. Anything The Last of Us related, I will take it. This also makes so much sense in the world why the Last of Us 2 PlayStation 5 patch hasn't been announced. It makes sense for them to hold on if they got something bigger planned, like The Last of Us remake or even The Last of Us 2 multiplayer. We're just gonna have to wait and see how things pan out. One thing I will say though, that this, ladies and gentlemen, has been in works way before The Last of Us 2 was even dropped for players to play, and that was last year. And we know that the HBO show is set to film later this year. All I'm gonna say, between the HBO show, the remake, and the multiplayer, things are about to be wild for The Last of Us fans. But at the same time, there are some questionable decisions on PlayStation and Sony side of things that they need to sort out, especially with the lesser known studios that Bloomberg. I would highly recommend you guys to go and read that article, check that one out. They're focusing more on the safer bets, developed franchises, instead of creating ways for new, innovative, creative franchises to take risks with their new IPs. That is something that Sony kept talking about. But do let me know, which group do you fall into? Do you think that this remake was unnecessary? If so, are you still gonna buy it? Are you still gonna play it? Or are you gonna be like, nah, skip that? Where do you fall in this? Do let me know. I am super excited to read your thoughts down in those comments below. Any chance I can get back into making Last of Us content, you know I will take it. So make sure you are subscribing, notifications on, help me get to 75k. Apologies on low energy. Vaccine first dose really got to you, boy. Also follow me on Twitter and another SmackNPie, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and peace.